every day, if we need to generate a 1 lakh of job, then only the unemployment can be extinguished in our country. Otherwise, not at all. So we should be a part of it. We have to generate the job. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you once again. And now I request Amit Kumar, sir, to start his session. Thank you, sir.
First of all, thank you very much, Joshi sir, for your words of wisdom and kind motivation to the students discussing about now or never, right? We are on very critical situation, right? As you rightly said that look at the world, how they are moving on. So we know that India is the youthest country of the world. India is the one who produces maximum number of engineers or any kind of technical force. But still, while going through a presentation, you will come to know that what is our innovation ranking in terms of IP generation. So those numbers are very less, and as rightly sir had said that the biggest reason for all this is lack of IP awareness, right? So friends, let's start with our today's session. Just let me know whether my slide is visible to all and is it changing?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So friends and all respected faculty members, right? Today we are going to discuss about introduction to IPR and its importance. So this would be a very basic and introductory session. What is IPR? What field of area it is related to? Why it is so important in today's time? What is India's stand? What should be done? What should not be done in different types of IPR? So this would be a very introductory session. And as you seems this to be important, and as you grows, right, as you plan your research activities and as required, we can have a detailed session, specified session towards a patent searching, patent drafting, patent filing, and likewise for other IPs too. Okay, so this would be a very basic and introductory session towards the area of intellectual property right, IPR. So before actually friends we go and discuss about the IPR, intellectual property right, first of all we require to understand wow, what is this field and how it is evolved, right? So the basically it starts with the property. So when we say a property in a generalized way, we let's it understand like property means something that we owns, something that we can say I am its possessor, right? I possesses it, I am the owner of it, it belongs to myself. That is the meaning of property. Okay, so when the property, all the kind of property in the world is majorly divided into two groups, the tangible property and the intangible property. So the difference between these two type of property is the physical form of the item. So first look at the tangible property. So tangible property are the ones which includes all the kind of anything around yourself which has a physical form, and the items which has a physical form which you can see using your eyes, and as they have a physical form you can touch it, you can measure it, right? Anything around yourself, whichever thing you are able to see through your eyes are the items which comes under this group of the property. That includes your mobile phone, your laptop, your furniture item, table, chair, electricity, house, right, or land, or any other item. So the items which has a physical form, those items we are able to see through our eyes, those items we are able to touch, and we are capable enough to measure them. These are the tangible items. Okay. And when it comes to prove the ownership on these tangible items, so we have a clear understanding, right? How you will prove your ownership on any of these physical items. So we have a clear understanding that we prove the ownership based on the bills or the registration paper, right? If any person will say that how you will prove this laptop is yours, how this mobile is yours, this table is yours, this chair is yours, or this house or this office is yours, right? So we will prove the ownership based on the bill, right? This bill is on my name for XYZ item, and that's why you are the owner of said item. For the land or the buildings or the commercial offices, you will go and represent the registration paper. This paper for this property is on my name, and that's why I am the owner. So these are the tangible property, and we have a clear understanding to prove the ownership for those items. Now, for the present item or the present topic of the interest which we are going to discuss, these are the items intangible property, right? And as I said earlier, the difference between two is the physical form. Tangible property has a physical form, whereas intangible property has a no physical form. Okay, so these are the items which doesn't have any physical form, right? And as these doesn't have any physical form, so the challenge over here is they have no physical form. So the first challenge is you are not able to see them, you are not able to touch them, you are not able to measure them. So the item which doesn't have any physical form, which you are not able to see and the measure, how the biggest question over here is how you will prove your ownership on those items. How you will prove your ownership on the items which you are not able to see. So this is the area, right? This is the area, intangible property. This is the area which principally includes all the kind of human mind creativity. Human mind creativity, right? In terms of medical science, there might be a person who doesn't have one eye, who doesn't have a one hand, or who doesn't have a one leg. But in terms of medical science, there couldn't be any living human person without a brain, right? So every living person has a brain, and with that brain, every person has a capability to think, to create, to visualize, to dream, right? And every kind of your human mind thoughts or creativity which is generating from your brain are the group of property which comes under this area, right? They doesn't have any physical form, and that's why we are not able to see. So all kind of human mind creation, they comes under this group, intangible property. Okay, intangible property. So as I said earlier, tangible property, all the items which has a physical form, either your money, gold, vehicle, land, building, furnitures, your electronic items, anything which has a physical form, all are the tangible property, and the property can be proved based on the bills or the registration papers. The areas of the present interest are the intangible property, and this includes all the kind of human mind creativity. Whether you observe one problem and you think of how to solve it, whether you create a novel, right, a script of a new movie, whether you make a painting, whether you write whether you write a lyrics for the song, whether you sing a song in a different voice, whether you give a music composition for any song, whether you have created a dancing step for any song, right? whether you have created a software program, okay, whether you have created a new design of any article, new logo of any business. So any kind of human mind creation, either a scientific or a art basis, right? Art related, literature related, or even a entertainment aspect. Any kind of human mind creativity all comes under the intangible property. And these are the items which doesn't have a principally no physical form. They all principally created from your brain, and then you transform into a physical product, right? Say for example, you have observed one problem, then via that observation you are coming up with some ideas. If I do some kind of arrangement, rearrangement of articles so that this problem can be solved, so that original idea is generated from your brain, and then while working on that brain, when you develop a prototype and when that prototype actually solves that particular problem, right? So you are the one who has created that prototype, converted your intellectual thoughts or the creativity into the physical product, right? And there, then the question comes, how you will prove that you are the one who has created this solution. You are the one who has created this solution, and that's why the person who has created it, you are supposed to be its owner. So how you will prove your ownership with respect to any kind of human mind creativity, scientific, literature, artistic, entertainment, or any domain of creativity? So to take the ownership on any kind of human mind creativity, how you will prove you are the one who has created it, and you need ownership on such creativity. So for those, right, so for this area, the field or the domain which gives you the ownership for such kind of human mind creativity or intangible asset, that field or that area is known as the intellectual property right. This is the domain which works or which gives you ownership with respect to any kind of intangible assets or the human mind creations. So what is this field and how actually this works? So actually, look, first of all, its meaning lies within the words. What is this area and what field it caters to? So intellectual property and the right. Try to understand meaning of each of these words, then you have a clear understanding what field this caters to. Intellectual, intellectual, right? Intellectual means anything which is coming from the brain. We usually says that this student is more intelligent than the other. So is there a factor like he is a class 10 student and the other in the comparison is class 5? So that's why class 10 student is more intelligent. Is it like so? Is it like that the one person who is having a weight of 50 kg and the other student has a weight of 30 kg, and that's why 50 kg student is a more intelligent? Is it like so? No. Intelligence is directly related with the brain, and it has a no relation with respect to age, weight, education, gender, or any other factors. Intelligence is directly related with the brain with no correlation with any of these factors. And the persons whose brain is more workable or more capable enough, we usually say that that person is more intelligent than the others. So intellectual means anything which is generating from the brain. Intellectual. Then the property. Taking ownership with respect to any kind of human mind output, that is intellectual property. Then the rights. Once you take the ownership with respect to any kind of human mind creation, that is your property. Now what rights you have? You can use for your own purpose, you can sell it to others, you can license it to others. So those are your rights. So this is what is the meaning of intellectual property right. So as I said earlier, this principle includes all the kind of human mind output. Whatever you create, either scientific, literary, artistic, or entertainment domain, or any other domain, whatever is the output of brain, that is all capable enough to get it protected by the means of intellectual property right. Okay, so this is the definition. What is the official meaning or the official definition of IPR is? So it usually gives creator, the person who has created it, the person who has invented it. It gives creator an exclusive right. Exclusive right means only to him and excluding all others. Excluding all others means only to him. That is, gives creator an exclusive right for the use of his creation. Whatever person has created, for its use, only he can use. Those kind of right is given to the creator. And these are for a certain period of time. Right? And these are only granted by the government. No individual person, no faculty, no college, no university, no company, or no any legal professional can assign these exclusive right. These can only and only granted by the government. Okay, so once again, try to understand. This is the definition and the fundamental of IPR. It gives creator an exclusive right for the use of his creation for a certain period of time, and these are granted by the government. And another important aspect or the characteristic of IP right is IP rights are territorial in the nature. Means the country, territorial in the nature. Over here, territory means a country. Means whatever you create, right? A new solution for a technical problem that you have created, you are the creator. Now you need an exclusive right for its use in any manner. Okay, so territorial in the nature means if you go and apply for its patent into India, it means that you will have an exclusive right for that creation or that patent only into India. Right? If you need the patent protection for the same invention into 10 other countries, you must require to go and have a patent protection in those countries of the interest. Only then you will have an exclusive right in those countries also. If you will go and not register into those countries, then you will not have an exclusive right for the said invention in those countries. Say for example, if you have created something and if you apply for its patent only in India, it means that only you have an exclusive right only into India, wherein no other can copy it. Whereas if you not go and apply into other countries, it means that any citizen or company of those countries can prepare those products and can sell into any country of the world except India without taking your permission or without paying a single rupee to you. That is the meaning of territorial in the nature. Means whichever the country you need exclusivity or the patent rights or the IP protection, you must require to go and protect in those countries. Right? This is reversely true also reversely true. It means that if, let's say that if some scientist in the USA, Israel, Korea, Japan, right, China, if they have created something novel, something really breakthrough, right, and if they are not applying for its patent or the IP protection in India, that is also reversely true. In those scenario, if they are not having IP protection for sales creation in India, that means all the Indian citizen, all the Indian industry, we all are also free to use those invention without taking their permission or without paying a single rupee to them. So it is two-way, right? Two-way positive or two-way correct. With respect to your invention in those countries where you go and apply for the IP protection, only those countries will have a IP protection or exclusivity to you. The country where you doesn't apply, you doesn't have IP protection. And reversely true means any country or any scientist whoever creates something in foreign countries, and if they are not protecting in India, then we all are also free to use them. So this is the definition or the fundamental of IP rights. So types of intellectual property right, friends. So intellectual property right, it is a superset or the umbrella or the mother, right? We can say, under which there are different type of IP rights: patent, trademark, copyright, design, integrated circuit design, geographical indication, trade secret. These are all different types of IPR, and each meant for different kind of human mind creativity, right? So each has a purpose. Whatever is the type of your human mind creation, suitably you can protect them by one or more of these IP instruments. And in lateral side, we will discuss what kind of ideas or what kind of creativity can be protected by which of these instruments, right? The message over here is IPR. It is the, you can say, a superset or the ultimate superset or the biggest one, which protects all the kind of human mind creations, right? Now based on the type of those ideas or the creation, they can be suitably protected by these different type of IP instruments. This is the one slide which represents the criteria and validity of IP protection for all different type of IP right. Say for example, patent. So if you need a patent on any invention, what should be the criteria? It should be novel, non-obvious and useful. If anything which satisfy these criteria, for them you can go for patent, and that will give you the protection for 20 years. And once it is granted, it will require to be renewed on every year basis. And in India, it is governed by the Patent Act and the rules. Next, trademark. So trademark protects distinctive sign of the goods and the services. Anything which has a distinctive goods and services, those can be protected by trademark, and which gives a protection of lifelong. Till the time if you keep it renewed, it will remain with you for 10 years, 50 years, 100 years, 200 years. It requires a renewal on every 10-year basis. It is governed by Trademark Act and Design. Trademark Act and the rules. Next is the design. So design protects the external look of the article, and to be protected as a design, the creation should have a criteria of novel, ornamental or aesthetic appearance of the article, new look of any existing article, which will give you a protection for maximum for a 15 years, initially granted for 10 years, and further it requires a renewal for next 5 years. Further, which is required, which is governed by the Design Act and the rules. Next is the Copyright Act, which is anything which is a creation of brain, which is original and the creative expression of your thoughts, right? Which gives a protection for the lifelong life of the creator plus 60 years after his death. That is the validity of copyright. And it requires a no renewal. Once registered, it would be valid for entire life of the creator plus 60 years after his death. Copyright, it is governed by the Copyright Act and the rules. Geographical indication, so it is for the distinguished product characteristic due to geographical and manpower from the spatial region, right? Through examples in the subsequent slides, we are going to discuss what kind of creativity can be protected by them. But this slide summarizes the criteria. What should be the criteria to be protected by this type of IPR? What is their time limit? When they are required to be renewed, and how, via what act and rules they are governed into India. So this is a one summarized slide for compiling all this information about all these different types of IPR. Now, nature and fundamental of IP rights, irrespective whether patent, trademark, copyright, design, right? All IP, right? All types of IPR, or the you can say fundamentally intellectual property right. What are the basic fundamental characteristic of them? So first of all, they are for the intangible assets, the items which are generating from your brain and which principally has a no physical form unless you convert into the reality. You are the one who has come up with those ideas or the creation and transformed into the physical form. So they fundamentally protects intangible assets, the human mind creativity. They are also transferable like your physical asset, how you sell your car or house from one person to other. In the similar way, the patent, trademark, copyright, design, they can also be transferred from one person to other. You can also rent them. You can also license them. Okay, so they are transferable like the physical property. They are territorial in the nature. The country in which you apply, it will be valid for that country only. Territorial. There is a legal maxim, right? Quid pro quo. So government, as a IP rights, government gives you the exclusive right only to you and excluding all others. So government gives this exclusivity to you in exchange of something, something for something. So this exclusivity is given to you in exchange of something, and that something is full disclosure of your creativity in your application, right? So that any person can refer it and can reverse engineer the same without your consultation. So whenever that IP right is expired, based on those details, right, any person can refer it and can replicate it without your consultation. So this exclusivity is given to you in exchange of full disclosure, right, whatever you have created. Government has also given us standard limitations and the exceptions. What cannot be patented, what cannot be trademarked, what cannot be design protected. And these are time bound rights. Each IP has a different time limit, right? And all these intangible, transferable, territorial, exclusivity, these results, this helps you to have an exclusive right and the monopoly into the market, right, which helps you to give a competitive advantage into the market, which helps you to increase your profitability, and so that others cannot copy your creations. So what do you receive when you file and register a patent, trademark, design, or a copyright? So as per the Patent Act, Trademark Act, Copyright Act, Design Act, Government has given a standard procedure under them. What is the procedure? What are the forms required? What details are to be given? When you submit all of them, the government office will give you examinations. When you satisfy all of their needs, when you overcome all the objections, at the end, government gives you certificate like this. Trademark certificate like this light pink color, a patent certificate like very light, uh, you can say a blue color, a green color certificate for the design, a white color certificate for the copyright, and a light pink color for the geographical indication. So this is the certificate which gives you the ownership. You are owner for this trademark, you are owner for this patent or a design or a copyright. And this is the certified certificate which gives that yes, you are the owner for said intangible creativity. And once you have this certificate, you are being said like the you are the owner, and that's why no other can copy what you have created. And if any other person is copying it, based on this legal ownership, you can take official legal actions against them. So these are the ownership certificate like this, right? So there are some examples to showcase. IP is everywhere around each of us. No person can say that IP has a no role in my life, right? Whether that is just a newborn baby on the present day, or whether that is for a very old age person who is on the hospital bed and about to die. IP is applicable to all of them, whether that is a president or a prime minister of our company or country, or whether that is a normal civilian person who resides on a remotest area of the country. IP is applicable to every person, whether a scientist or a doctor or an illiterate person. It is applicable to each of us, whether knowingly or unknowingly. And there are certain examples to showcase that how it is associated with every one of our life. So look friends, without reading anything, just if you will look at this shoes, you are able to recall that this shoe is from which company. You will say that it is from the Reebok. And if I will say that how you have identified, so you will say that based on this symbol. This is the symbol of Reebok company, right? So this is the symbol which is their identity, and this is their trademark. Okay, so trademark is their intangible property, intellectual property right. Only Reebok company can use it. If you go and start the shoe manufacturing, you cannot use this logo, because Reebok is the company who have a ownership on the same, and that's why they have a exclusivity to use only to them. No other person can use it. So that is a trademark, that is their ownership, right? And look at this product. It is so flexible that they twist it, and even though it will regain to its original position without any damage to product. So that's why Reebok company itself has given a new name to this product series as a Real Flexible, Real Flex. So it is also their trademark. What material they have used to make it so robust, so flexible, so and how they manufacture it, they keep it secret. So that is their trade secret. Reebok company itself manufactures 1,000 types of shoe variety, each looking different from the other. So what is the unique shape of this product? This shape is the external appearance, and this shape, this particular shape, they protected by design. The copyright. This product comes into the special box with a special color combination, then newspaper advertisement or even the TV advertisements. Those are all protected by the copyright. What is the product, right? What is the material via which they manufacture it, right? What is its composition? What is the process? All those technical aspects they protect by a patent. So anything around yourself, whether that is your laptop, whether that is your mobile phone, whether that is a light, whether that is your table, whether that is your kitchen utensils, a communication device, food processing, or any your apparels, right? Wearables. Everywhere, one product is a bunch of IP protection. Okay, this is a similar example of the pharmaceutical product. Cipla inhaler for the asthmatic patient. Okay, so look, the Cipla company is a non-company, and this product, what they are selling on the name of multi-haler. So Cipla is also a trademark, multi-haler is also a trademark. They applied for the trademark. Okay, then the look of this product, they have a design. The trade secret, how they manufacture it, what is the composition, what is the process, that is their trade secret. Copyright, what is the label of this product, what is the color combination, what is written in it, all those content, right? It is a matter of copyright protection. A patent with respect to what is drug, what is its composition, how to manufacture, that is a patent. So likewise, as I said earlier, shoes or the pharmaceutical product or any product around yourself, just go and visualize, right? Try to evaluate them. You will find a presence of IPR everywhere around yourself. And as I said earlier, IP is useful for all the stakeholders of society, whether they are a researcher, they are academicians, they are industry, they are society, or even the government. Okay, so whether that is a children or a very old person, very reputed a politician or a very normal civilian, IP is useful for every person into the society. And also it is not like that it is only applicable to the engineers or only to the pharmaceuticals. It is also useful for the agriculture, rocket science, textile industry, chemical industry. So it is applicable at everywhere, all the technical domains of all the industry size or industry type. No industry can say that IP has a no role in my life, right? Even the entertainment industry, they are also based on the copyright. Even the painters, they are also a copyright registrar. Even the singers, there also comes a role of a IP, right? So all technical domains of all industry types. IP is an important business tool. They are not just for the CV purpose or the photo framing. IP means a business, right? So IP doesn't mean just for the photo framing or the office decoration. Like I holds a 5 patent, I have a 3 trademark, I have a 5 design, right? And usually it is many a times it is reported, right? And especially in the academia, whether it is for the student or the faculty or the institute, if they have a 1 patent, 2 patent, 5 patent, they usually photo frame it, they file it or showcase into their office, right? But they are not only just meant for this purpose. IP means a business. IP means a business, and this slide represents like IP as a asset. Okay, this slide represents the increasing importance of intangible asset over a period of time for Fortune 500 company. Right? Look at over here, 1975. Whichever the biggest 500 companies of the world, whatever is their valuation, nearly 83% is for their tangible asset. What is their plant? What is their machinery? How big their plant is? Tangible item. Just 70% is based on their intangible asset. And how year on year, as the age is passed, the importance of intangible asset for these companies is increasing up to 80% or 90%, and their tangible asset is just 20% of their overall valuation. Okay, So this is the scenario for Fortune 500 companies, and this is equally true for each normal individual person as well, each normal small company as well, each normal college as well, right? When we are saying that which is the best university of the world, we will say that MIT, Stanford, Oxford, Harvard. So are they based because of their tangible asset, means what is their big campus, what is the big laboratory they have, what are the machinery they have? They are big because of them? No. They are big or the reputed because of their faculty members, because of the level of student who are studying over there. And the human asset is also an intangible asset. Just look at any normal student, right? If there are two students in a class, one is a born rich guy, very his family is very rich, right? And one is a normal we can say normal family student. So on the present day we can say that born rich guy is more richer than the normal student. But if that normal student his brain using his brain, if he solves, if he creates some technical problem of a solution, or if he develops a technology, right? And if that technology is really solving a big problem of the society and industry, okay, so based on that technology, that normal student can generate a biggest business empire over a period of next 5 years or 10 years, right? And with that business empire, his valuation would be even more than that born rich guy. Okay, so this is how it is equally useful to each normal person or normal student as well, and it is also usually important for normal small company, small institute, or the biggest giant corporations. Intangible assets, in the today's time the importance of intangible asset is increasing for all the stakeholders of the society. And look at this slide. This slide represents the royalty and license fee received and paid. So when the royalty comes, royalty, right? Royalty means something premium, right? Royalty. When the royalty comes, so when you are offering something which is no other person is offering, in those scenarios only the other person who is taking it will be ready to pay the royalty. Okay, so when you have a something unique which no other person is offering, those are the items which are protected, which are the creation of human mind, and which are the items which are protected by the IP instrument, patent, trademark, copyright, designs. So look at this slide. Royalty and license fee received and paid by the countries in the year of 2012. Right, 2012. This is the first slide of the country. Second is the royalty and license fee received by this country. Third column is royalty and license fee paid by this respective country. And what is the balance, right, of this respective country? So look, in this list, USA is on the top. USA has received nearly $124 billion as a royalty for the use of their product and the technology by the other countries of the world. Right? Whatever the USA has created, whatever is their IP, for their IP, whatever other country are using, for its use, other country has paid $124 billion to USA. Look at the reverse, right? And in exchange, whatever the other countries has developed, the USA has also used it, and USA for the same, USA has paid nearly $39 billion to other countries. So on the net, in 1 year, 2012, USA has received nearly $84 billion. from other country, right? So say for example, this was the figure for 2012. Consider this as a $100 billion on the present day. $100 billion. Okay. So how big this amount is? 1 billion is equal to 100 crore. So 100 billion would be 100 into 100, then 1000 and 10,000 crore dollar. Right? $1 is equal to 70 rupees. Just consider as a 70. Okay. So 10,000 crore into 70. So it would be 7 lakh crore rupees. 1 rupee is equal to 1 crore. Likewise, there are 7 lakh crore Indian rupees. That is the amount USA is received from other countries for use of their product and the technology. 7 lakh crore rupees. So you can imagine that when such a huge amount of money is being received from other country into your economy, what would be the great infrastructure you can develop? What would be the great health system you will have? What would be the greatest education system that country will have? Okay, so look at the where India is. So India received $321 million. You can see from the length as well. This is a billion is equal to 1 billion is equal to 100 crore. This is million. 1 million is equal to 10 lakh. And look at India. We paid $3.9 billion to others. So on a net, we are on the negative side of the trade. $3.6 billion we paid to other countries. Okay. So there, how this works. So this is not like that our Prime Minister will go to this respective country, he will sign the check and will give to this government. How this works is, look friends, if you go and have a Coca-Cola into your canteen or any restaurant, Coca-Cola is the USA company. So if you will pay 10 rupee to them, one part of that 10 rupee will go to USA. If you will go and have a Domino's pizza, then one part will go to that country. If you will go and buy a Mercedes car, so one part of that will go to Germany. If you will go and have the product like Maruti Suzuki, then Maruti is a Japan Maruti, right? Suzuki is a Japan company. So one part will go to Japan. So similarly, that's why many a times, right? Many a times government says that Swadeshi Abhiyan, make in India. So many a times government says that instead of going and rushing behind the foreign product, go and find out the local alternates, right? So that that money will reside within the India only, and that will help to Indian economy to a greater extent. So India, right? What is India's position is on the negative side. So if we want to be a global guru, right? If we want to be on the very respectable position on the world map, we have to improve our the technology and the technology based export. We have to reverse this scenario. We have to improve these numbers, right? We have to develop those products which world wants, and then this number will reverse. And when this number will reverse, our Indian infrastructure, education system, health system, that will also be improved to a greater extent. Importance, look, this is importance of IP for the economy. So there was a one study conducted into the European Union, all nearly 25-30 countries, to study what is the role IP is playing into their economy. And what is the outcome of this report, which says that 28% of all jobs in the Europe, which account for 60 million, 6 crores, are directly related to IPR. 38% of all employment in the Europe, which account for 8 crore 20 lakh, are directly and indirectly related to IP. IP based industry pay higher salary than the non-IP based industry. 42% of the entire Europe's economy, GDP, 42% of entire Europe's GDP is based on the IP based industry, which account for 5.7 trillion euro. 1 trillion is equal to 1000 billion. You can calculate, and euro is even higher than the dollar. So that is the value. The IP is contributing to the Europe economy. So similarly, friend, in India, we doesn't have any such study, but you can also see that this is also true in India. 28% of all jobs. So look at the pharmaceutical industry, automobile industry, IT industry, entertainment industry, chemical industry, right? So these are the biggest recruiter in India as well. And these are also the IP based industry, right? We know that the what is IT engineer is earning, it is very high than the person who works on the civil construction side or the person who works on the agriculture field. So these are IP based industry pay more wages, more salary than the non-IP based industries. So there is no study in India, but these are also, these represent that how important IP is for any country's economy. And that is also true for India too. So look that this is one example to showcase that what is the role of IP for the success of one company. Success of one company. So here is the example of Apple company, right? Apple is the richest company in the world, richest private sector company in the world, whose valuation is more than $2 trillion. The richest private sector company of entire world, whose valuation is $2 trillion. And friends, many a times you have heard that our Prime Minister has given us a target like India want to be a country of $5 trillion economy. The country of 1.3 billion people, having so many MSME units, so many big companies, so big giant government corporations like SBI, Bank of India, IOCL, ONGC, BPCL, right? A company like Reliance, Adani, Tata, right? Wipro, TCS, and all those. Even though our government is saying like that we want to be a $5 trillion economy by 2025, whereas this just one company of USA, whose valuation is $2 trillion. So that's why we are saying that Apple is the richest private sector company of the world. And what makes this company richest is based on the IP. So look at the example over here. When the iPhone 7 was launched, the company's retail price for one unit is $650, whereas its original manufacturing component and the manufacturing cost is just nearly $220. So you can imagine that the manufacturing cost and the selling price, there is a huge difference between two of them, and which accounts for nearly 250% plus profitability for one unit selling to this company. 250% plus profitability on one unit selling to this company, right? And that makes this company so rich. Now understand that why so? these numbers are public, and even though when the company launches new product, even though when new product comes, people are making in the developed country as well, people are making a line outside their outlet even before 1 day 2 day in advance. People are mad about their products. And why so? Because of the brand value. Apple, this is the product by the Apple, right? And that's why, and they design their products in such a great way. They works for the technology development, they works from the best product development, and that's why the consumer has a greatest, we can say a greatest impression towards their product, and which makes their product and this company as a such a premier level. When the new product with a new feature comes, there are the companies like Samsung, Lenovo, Oppo, Mi. They replicate those features, those technology. They come up with the similar product within a period of 3 months, 6 months, and selling at a much reduced price. Even though the company on the present day is capable enough to maintain their brand value, right? And even though, look friends, even having the richest company in the world, the interesting fact about Apple is that Apple on the present day, Apple doesn't have a single manufacturing plant of its own in nowhere in the world. Not in USA, not in China, not in India, nowhere in the world. Apple doesn't have a single manufacturing plant of its own. They just works for the technology development and the product development. And when they develop a base of the technology, based of the product, they protect them by a base of the IP way, a patent, trademark, copyright, design, right? Their focus is to protect their product by a base of the IP way, and which makes this company a greatest or the richest in the world. Okay, so that is the value of IPR. Look at the example of Google. So it was started by a 2 PhD student from the Stanford. 2 PhD student from the Stanford. When they have worked on a one industry problem. So when they are the student, they identified a one problem, like when they are searching on the internet, on any of the search engine, when they give a input keywords, when they search, those search engines are not giving the good results. So to address this problem, these two students from the Stanford University, they created one search program, search algorithm, right, with their brain. Search algorithm, computer program with some validations, conditions, and the filters. So based on that search algorithm, they are capable enough to make the world's one of the giant companies like Google. So that is the power of one idea. Whatever they have created with their brain, one computer program, right? That program has created a so great, right? So great value that has created a biggest corporation like Google. So that's why it has been said that the bade se bada business, that is also based on the one idea. Biggest corporations are also based on one individual idea. That is the potential of human mind creativity. So each of us, right, whoever is a student, right, whoever is a faculty member, even though your family background is not proper, even though you doesn't have a financial background, even though if you create with your brain any big tech solution to any big social or a corporate or industry problem, if that solution has a really great potential, you can create a wonders in next 5 or 10 years. And that's why, as Joshi sir had said, today is the time, now or never, right? Today is the best time to work on the entrepreneurship, innovation, and the IPR. Okay. Now, with this, let's move towards the IP system in India. IP system in India. So as we discussed, it is ultimately governed by the government itself. So Government of India is the supreme authority under which there are different ministry. Ministry of Commerce and Industry is there. So under this ministry there is one department, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. And this department regulates the functioning of Office of Controller General of Patent, Design and Trademark, which is normally called as a patent office. And this patent office regulates the functioning of all these types of IP rights. Right? Government of India, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, under which comes a patent office, and this patent office regulates the functioning of patent, design, trademark, geographical indication, copyright, semiconductor integrated circuit layout designs. So now friends, look this. This is also one of the very important slide to make you understand what kind of creativity can be protected by which type of IPR. Okay, so first look at patent. So patent protects innovative product and the processes. Anything around yourself in entire world is either a product or process. Cannot be possible any apart from these two. Anything and everything in the world can either be a product or process. So with your brain, if you are developing a new product, new process, okay, those are capable enough to get it patented. Also, if you are making any small changes into existing product or existing process, those small changes or incremental innovations, those small changes are also capable enough to get it patented. So brand new product, brand new process, yes. Small innovations, they are also patentable. And look friends, here is the our biggest misconception. In our society, we think that patent means it is for the rocket science. It is for the person who has the greatest resources availability, like IIT, NIT, or the biggest colleges. Right? A person who is having access for the biggest resources, the person who is keep on reading all the day, right? The person who is doing a PhD, only those are the people who are creating something, only they can go for patenting. These are the biggest misconceptions in our society, right? As per the Patent Act or the government system, there is a no minimum criteria like age, education or the background, right? For patent filing, they are not saying like that a minimum graduation is required. There is nothing like that. They are not saying like that a minimum 14-year or 18-year age is required. No. Applying for a patent, any person or illiterate farmer is also eligible to apply for a patent. A class 5 or 10 student is also apply, or a scientist is also eligible. So any person who is creating anything with his brain, just observe any problem around yourself, whether you are a civil student but observing a problem of electrician or a food processing, then also you are coming up with a thought. If this is a problem, if it is solved by this way, it can be overcome. So if you work on those ideas and develop a product, those solutions can be protected by means of a patent if it is actually working. If you are making a small changes into existing product or processes, making it more innovative, more productive, right? So those part of small changes can also eligible to get it patented. Next is the design. So design protects the external look of any article, just a external look of any article. So when I will say a pen, so pen, there are 1,000 type of pen varieties are available in the market, each looking different from other. So all those different look can be protected by design. The different type of your shoes, different type of watch, different type of your spec, even different type of your cloth design, different type of jewelry, different type of furniture, different type of any kind of kitchen utensils, either your spoon, fork, or a knife, or a bowl, or a cooker, or any other thing, right? Just a different look of any article of any industry. All those can be protected by designs. Trademark. So trademark protects distinctive sign of a business. So name of your business, logo of your business, name of your sub brand, all those can be protected by a trademark. Geographical indication. So this protects the traditional products specific for a geographical region due to the special climatic condition of that area, or because of the special skills of the workers of that domain. Those products have a special characteristic than the other. Such kind of product can be protected by geographical indication, like Darjeeling tea, Ratlami sev, Purapuri chappal, right? Kashmiri kesar, Kashmiri salt, Nagpur orange, Surat farsan, Rajkot peda, okay, Bhuj Bharatkam, Patana Patoda. All these are the examples of geographical indication. First is the location and second is the item, goods, right? Those goods have a, from this region have a special characteristic than other region. When we are saying basmati rice, so basmati is the region from which, because of the climatic condition of that area, the rice from that area will have a specific length. The rice from that area will have a special order, right? We are also, our farmers are also farming the rice, but they are not a unique quality like the rice from that domain, that region, right? And those rice have a, that makes the value of those rice very high. So those are geographical indication. Copyright. So copyright protects the cultural, artistic and literary work, expression of your thoughts in any tangible medium. Copyright is very, very, very wide area, right? Expression of any kind of your thoughts in any tangible medium. All those are capable enough to protect by copyright. So this includes writing a novel, right? Making a note of this presentation in your notebook, that is also, that note is your copyright. Taking a photograph of nature or yourself is also you are a copyright. If you take a one photograph or one video accidentally using your mobile, accidentally you captured something and that video goes viral, so you have captured that moment in your mobile phone, so you are the copyright owner for that video. If you make a painting, if you make a computer program, if you sing a song, if you give a music composition, if an architecture makes a new design of a building, all those expression of your thoughts in any tangible medium. all those are protected by the copyright. Semiconductor integrated circuit layout design. So this is the area which protects the inventions related to circuitry design or the processors, so as to make them flexible, compact, lesser energy requirement, lesser heat generation, okay, and more powerful. If those are the invention related to circuit designs of the processor, such things can be protected by semiconductor integrated circuit designs. So this is the slide, right, which defines what kind of human mind creativity can be protected by which type of IP rights, right? And if you develop any product using your intellect, right, that product can be protected by more than one type of IP rights, right? As we seen in the example of that Reebok shoes and the asthmatic inhaler pump. One product, any product around yourself can be protected by more than one type of these IP instruments. So this is the slide which represents the structure of IP protection in India. Like we have IITs, aims for the IP knowledge transfer or the education. We have one National Institute of IP and the Management at the Nagpur. We have 4 patent offices into entire India in 4 metro city: Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai and Mumbai. We have one design office for entire India and that is at Kolkata. We have 5 trademark office in Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai and also one in the Ahmedabad. We have one geographical indication registry at the Chennai. We have one semiconductor integrated circuit layout design registry at the Delhi and one copyright office at the Delhi. So this is how the office, right, the IP system of India works. This is the jurisdiction, right, majorly patent office. So for in Gujarat we have no patent office, but Gujarat comes under the territory of Mumbai patent office over here, right? And in the similar way, on the present day you can go and file into those office physically as well, and you can go and file in the online mode too. Now look at Global Innovation Index. So as the name indicates, Global Innovation Index. So this is the index, means a ranking system for the global, means a country ranking system on the parameters of innovation, right? And when we are saying on the international platform, when we have to compare India, we usually compare India with the China. So look at this. This slide represents the Global Innovation Index ranking of India and the China over a period of last 1 decade. So look at India's performance on 2010, 56, 62, 64, 66, 76, 81, continuously declining. Our performance was decreasing, 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 decreasing. Okay, and then after 2015 we started improving, 81 to 66, 60, 57, 52, 48, right? So in a period of 15 to 20, in a period of just 6 years, India has jumped from 80 to 48, an improvement of more than 30 position, right? And when this latest ranking has come, it has been reported that in entire world's history, no country has shown such a significant improvement like what India has shown within a period of just last 6 years. Right? In China, China is continuously improving, 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 improving. Okay? So look friends, why the China or why the India has improved such a great position, right? within a period of just like 6 years. It is a great, it is possible with a visionary leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So first time he came into power in the year of 2014, right? Before that, you can say that when he came into the power, he started taking action, and his actions started showing results from the year of 2016 onwards, right? Till that time, India was continuously declining. And after he came into the power, he started taking actions and multiple actions like Digital India, Stand Up India, Startup India, Innovate India, Ease of Doing Business, Government e-marketplace, startup ecosystem development, ease of removing many non-required law, or changing a huge aspect into the basic law system so as to promote, which facilitates the Indian business and ecosystem or the innovation system. And that's why, because of all these, right, because of all these factors, India has started innovating and improving its performance, right? And government is saying that we want to make India into the top 30 global innovative countries by 2030, right? And by 2040, government is aiming to be into the top 10 most innovative countries of the world with this, right? So the Indian scenario is started improving, and there are number of, this is the best time to be in India. This is the best time to start a startup in India, because there are a large number of government incentive schemes are available on the present day. There is nothing like that in earlier time too. There are such support system, but today is the time of the opportunity, right? These are, the government is changing the administration in so greater way to make it more user and efficient way. So if you start and if you understand how innovative government is changing in which of the domain, if you understand, if you extract the opportunity from those changes, and if you start in those domains, your pathway for the success would be quite easier. Now with this, also look at the how world is progressing with respect to IPR and where India is. So this is the numbers from World Intellectual Property Indicator, which says that the patent, total number of patent filing by all the countries of the world in 2017-18, and which are the top countries. Similarly for the utility model, trademark, industrial design and plant variety. So this report, right, which says that applications worldwide in 2017, all the countries of the world have filed nearly 31,62,000 patents, which grown to 33,26,000 in 2018. Right, entire world files nearly 31 lakh patent and 33 lakh patent, of which the top contributor is the China. China alone is filing 31 lakh patent in 17 and 15 lakh 42,000 in 2018, and which accounts for nearly 46% of the world only by the China. The USA is number 2 with nearly 6 lakh. Look at number 1 and number 2. There is a huge difference. They are not very near to near. Look at the utility model. Again, China number 1, 96% of the world contribution. Trademark, again China number 1, 50% of the world. Industrial design, again China number 1, 54% of the world. Plant varieties, again China number 1, 28% of entire world. So friends, today is the time of the knowledge, information. The country which is more intellectual enough, they are going to be more powerful, right? And whatever this is, whatever they are gaining on today's time, this is not a result of just 1 year or 5 years. They achieved this position as a result of their dedicated actions over a period of last 2 decades, and because of that they are on the global number one position, right? And friends, whatever they are doing today, because of this IP, right, the number of patent and the trademark, whatever they are doing today, they are going to enjoy its fruit for next 2 decade or 3 decade, or technology or the brand. Okay, so that's why IP is so important in today's time. So if India wants to be on a global platform, we also require to increase our IP filing, right? Try to memorize this number: 15 lakh in a year by China. Look at this, the China number one in patent trademark design. Look at India. So India is number 12 with respect to patent filing on the world, with respect to trademark on number 7, and the design number 13. Look at the patent filing, the number of patent filing by country. Look, China number 1, 15 lakh patents. Look at India, just 50,000 patent in a year by India. In 365 days, China files 15 lakh 42,000 patent, whereas India files just 50,000. Are we capable enough with this 50,000, with this 15 lakh? And technology, whatever, today is the time of technology, and whatever new technology development, these patent indicates its number, how technically they are advanced. Again, look at over here. There are two colors, red and orange. Red represents the filing by the resident, and orange represents filing by the non-resident. So for 15 lakh patent, what China is filing, the foreigners' contribution is just 10%. Whereas look at India, India files just 50,000, and of that, the red color is hardly able to see. Orange color is the major, right? And which means that the 50,000, of this 50,000, major is by the non-resident, means the foreigners, and which accounts for 70% of this 50,000. So Indians contribution is even very less. Okay, so look, this slide represents how China has progressed, how China has gained to this position. Okay, so look, this represents a period of journey of 20 years. China is on the scale of 0 to 80, 0 to 80. And here is India on the scale of 0 to 8. So do not consider height as the equivalent. It is on the scale of 0 to 80, whereas this is on the scale of 0 to 8. Right? So when it is started in the year of 1995, China was on the position 1. India was also on the number 1. So at this moment, China understood, if we have to be a global positioning, if we want to grow, we have to work on the intellectual aspect. And that's why they started changing their, they started a large scale IP awareness program, large scale support system. They understood its importance, they started taking action. So as a result of this, as a result of all this, they grown from 1995 to 2005 from 1 to nearly 10. And India grew from 1 to 3. And they started working, they continuously started working, pushing it. And as a result of this, in the next decade, from 5 to 15, they grown from 10 to 70. Whereas India grown from 4 to 7. Okay, so this is how they identified 2 decades before they make a action agenda, they started working, and then they achieved this position. So in India, even if we identify and started working on these agendas, right, it is not like a 3-year or 5-year agenda. If we dedicatedly work on this agenda, it will again require a 2-decade continuous efforts and the work. Only then we would be able to reach to those positions. Otherwise not. Okay, look at this, right? This is the number which says that India's patent filing trend 16, 17, 17, 18, 89. Total patent filing by India 45, 47 and 50. Right? Again, if you will divide this number into Indians and the foreigners, look at these numbers. The Indians contribution is just 30 percentage, nearly 13,000, 15,000, 17,000. Whereas the maximum contribution is by the foreigners. And the world knows that India is the biggest consumer market of the world. If they will file a patent for their innovative product, they will have an exclusivity for entire India. And that's why this foreign multinational comes over here. India's contribution is just 17,000. Very, very, very minimal. Right? Look at this. Again, that's 17,000 again by the states. So Maharashtra is on the top, nearly 4,000, roughly 4,000. Look at Gujarat, 700. Right? So in Gujarat itself, there are nearly, we can say in Gujarat itself, there are nearly 70 plus universities are there. 70 plus universities, and of all these 70 universities, there are more than PhD graduates which are passing out. That number is even more. Look at number of masters graduate, number of undergraduates are graduating, and how many projects we are carrying out. Right? Gujarat itself has a large number of MSME units, large number of manufacturing capabilities, one of the largest industrialized state of entire India. And still, what is the India's patent filing? And these are the actual numbers taken from the Indian Patent Office annual report, which is submitted to the Parliament. So these are the hard realities, right? What we are doing, how we are progressing. So the biggest reason, right, why these numbers are less, the biggest reason responsible for this is lack of IP awareness. Lack of IP awareness. Right? We all know that patent means very good. If we come across to any person, right, or any faculty, we know that this faculty has a 1 patent or 2 patent, we have a different perspective or the respect for that fellow. But our misunderstanding like that patent means only for the persons who are always with books, always reading a lot, the person who are working in the biggest laboratories, the person who has access of all the resources, the person who is from the IIT, NIT or the premier institution. Only they can do something, and only as a result of that they can go for patenting. Friends, for getting a patent or to creativity, there are no such limitations. Every person has a capability to think and the create. Right? Just look at around yourself. Our society or the industry is full of the problem. And whatever the resources available with you, with those resources as well, you can solve n number of problems in any of the domain or the industries. And if using your creativity, if you solve them, those solutions are capable enough to get it patented. Get it patented. Right. Okay. So we have to understand and we have to increase our IP awareness. Right. We have to break those ice. Right. we are not capable enough to go and apply for patent. Even the standard 5 or 10 student is capable enough, even IIT diploma student too, and even the engineering student of class first year student, second year, third year, final year, masters, PhD, everyone is capable enough to observe something, to create something, right? India is the country with a largest youth mass. India is the country which produces maximum number of engineers or the technical force in the world. But look at our IP filing numbers. Look at these numbers, right? This represents India's real positioning on the research or the IP creation. Okay, so we have to spread IP awareness to a greatest extent, and do not think patent means a rocket science. Only something brand new is created, only those can be patented. No, even a small incremental changes into existing product or processes, those can be patented. Look at this, friend. This is a one water bottle. Okay, these are normal opener and closer. So any person can come up with an idea like a flip, press and lock, that is patentable. Any person with press and lock with a straw over here, that is a patentable. Any person who has come up with an idea like a thread over here, right, so as to keep it easy for carrying it. Any person who is coming up with a just small knob over here, so that you can place your finger and easily open it, right? So like this, any product around yourself, it has a greatest potential to make it even more better, right? And with that, if you create those items, those has a capability to get it IP protection, either a patent, trademark, copyright, design. So we have to understand the importance of our mind, our capabilities. Then we should also create it. Instead of going and doing a repetitive projects, go and take and work on the real social problems. Okay. Only then we can create a IP based society, educational or the industry model. So look, this slide further represents what is the number of 15,000 and 17,000 patents by an Indian. Those numbers are further bifurcated into the natural person. Individual patent filing by the startup, patent filing by the small entity, and patent filing by the big corporation, big companies, universities, and the academic institution, and by the Indians and the foreigners. So look at natural person, human beings, right? So we know that India is a country of 1.3 billion people, and out of them only just 7,250 individuals are going for patent filing. So divide 130 crore Indians divided by 7,250. Right? If you will make that calculation, you will derive at a number that the average out of nearly 1 lakh, 1.25 lakh people, nearly one Indian is going for patent filing. Does that mean that all other 1,25,000 Indian citizens have no brain? They are not capable enough to think or create something? We are capable enough. Give us any of the biggest technical challenges of the world to Indians. We are equally competent enough to solve any of the problems. Right? We are intellectual enough, but why these numbers are less? The biggest reason is lack of IP awareness. Each of us have to understand this, and each of us have to take the responsibility, right, for doing and the working on the industrial problem and the social problem, instead of working on the repetitive projects or the problems. Only then we can reverse the situation. Look at the startup, only 1,000 small entity. In India itself, we have nearly 8 crore, around 8 crore of MSME units. And look at this, lesser than 1,000 are going for the patent filing. How many? Look at how many GIDCs we have, how many manufacturing plants we have. They are also coming up with a new product. They are also addressing one or the other problems, manufacturing problems, via their intellect. But they are also not aware of this is what I have created or how I am overcoming the problem. That problem is capable enough to IP protection. When they will understand, when they are going for a patent, their product will also have a competitive advantage in market. Their also profitability will increase. Their novel product will also no other will copy. Okay, so this is how we have to understand the importance of IPR. Okay, and this slide represents the number of patents granted in 1 year. Look at that is a 50,000 filing. Again, a grant is a different scenario. So whatever government grants in 1 year, this is to Indians and foreigners. And of this is 10 years period. Of this, you will come to know that in 1 year, all the Indians, individual, startup, small entity, or the larger company or the university all together in 1 year, there are no more than 2,500 patents are granted to Indians. This is hard reality, right? And patent has a validity of 20 years. Look, so in 1 year, right? This year patent will be valid. 5 year old will also be valid if the fee is being paid. So in particular year, what is the total number of patent in force and of how many to Indians and how many to foreigners? So in one particular years, right, there are no more than 10,000 such patents which are granted and live of the Indians. And that includes a individual inventor, startup, small entity, a big company or a big research laboratory or a giant companies as well. So this number is lesser than 10,000. Right? So the reason for all this, the fundamental, right? We can say that the fundamental reason for all this, the lack of number, lesser number is IP awareness, lesser IP awareness. We all are capable enough to think something, to create something. And each of you, right? Each of you is capable enough to have a patent protection. You doesn't require to build a rocket. You doesn't require to build a very hi-fi scientific project. You can take a small project as well. You just refer what is reported and then you come up with a new improvement. That improvement is also eligible to get it patented. Right? To address all this situation, the government has understand its importance and government has taken a very bold actions with respect to basic change into the Patent, Trademark, Copyright Design Act. Right? They have modernized the IP offices. They have recruited large number of resources. Right? They have introduced the expedited examination, startup as a category, women entrepreneurship as a category. They have also started like a Startup India program, a large scale IP awareness program. And because of all these proactive actions of the government, look at what government has achieved within a period of 5 years. Right? So this slide represents the actions, right? What the government has taken actions and what is its result just within a 5 year. So look, when the Modi government came into the power, it was 14-15. So during 14-15, there was a time like when you apply for a patent on 14-15, it was taking nearly 7 to 8 years to get the patent granted. It was the year when you apply for a trademark, it was taking nearly 3 to 4 years for a trademark granting, right? And because of all these major actions taken by the government, look at the results, what they are on the present day. So 14, 15, what patent office? Look, this is the number they have granted and this is the number they have examined. So in this year, the patent office has examined 14,000 patents and they granted roughly 6,000. So look, oh, just over a period of 5 years, the same patent office is examining 50,000 patents, an increase of roughly 300 percentage. What they are granting 6,000, now they are granting 15,000 patent, an increase of nearly 250 percentage within a period of 5 years. Trademark, look, the trademark, they are examining 83,000 trademark in 1 year. The same trademark government office, now they have examined 5,20,000 trademark in 1 year, more than 450 percentage rise in the performance. What they are granting 41,000 trademark in 1 year, now they are granting 3 lakh nearly 60,000 trademarks in a year. So just in a 5 years, now we have a mechanism like if you apply as a startup and the expedited route, it is possible in today's time to have a patent within a period of less than 1 year. And we ourselves have in last 1 year we ourselves has worked and get 3 patents granted in a period of nearly 11 months. Right? In the design and trademark, today is the time when you have a result in your hand in lesser than 6 months. Due to COVID, that timeline is little extended, but the government has understand its importance, right? And government has changed the basic change in their administration, right? This is the number what speaks about the government action. So government is very serious about the IPR and all the initiatives, right? Changing all this administration in government system is not easier task. We all know that. And this represents their actions, right? Within a 5 year, how drastically and rapidly they make all these changes. Look at this, Startup India, Stand Up India, Digital India, changing into the Basic Act, right? A Startup India, a grant system availability, all these, right? And government is making 1 year patent is possible, but government want to clear the all the back pendency, and government is making a system like that. They want to in normal way as well. They want to achieve grant the patent in lesser than 2 years, right? In the trademark, yes, it is possible that 4 to 6 months, just it, right? So with this, I think time is up. There are a couple of slides, but I would just like to conclude my presentation over here. And if any student has and look friends, this slide represents the India's research paper publication. Over here, India's research paper publication. This slide represents India's research publication in over 11 to 18. Scopus listed research paper publication, SCI listed journal research publication, and NSF listed research paper publication. So these numbers represent, say that nearly, we can say 3.5 or nearly 4 lakh patent or their 4 lakh reputed research are being published in 1 year by Indians. Of these, many would be possible that which would be capable enough to get patented. And look this, if you have a two pathway, if you go for a research paper publication or go for a patent, what is the difference? So research paper gives you no ownership, whereas patent gives you the ownership. When you go for research paper publication, they are not giving any ownership. Instead, they are taking away your copyright ownership as well. Whereas in patent, the ownership will always remains with you. For research paper publication, no novelty is the must required. Whereas for patent, novelty is must required. And another important aspect, if you create something and if you go for research paper and first you go for a patent. So if you go for a research paper, you cannot stop other if they are practicing the same invention. Whereas if you go for a patent, you can take a legal actions against them. Right? Research paper. First you go for research paper publication, then filing a patent is not possible because patentability has a novelty criteria. Whereas there is always possibility. Once first you file a patent and then you go for a research paper, then that is always possible. So that's why we have to understand that we are doing a really great work, but because lack of IP awareness, we are not going for the patent deal. So we have to understand and improve those scenarios. With this, just I would like to conclude my presentation over here. If any student have a question, the forum is open for the discussion. If any student have any question, they can always send an email or give me a call, right? So thank you all.
Thank you very much, Amit sir. Students, you are unmuted and you can present also. If you have any doubts, any queries to sir, you may ask here, but only those should unmute who has genuine queries. Others should keep themselves muted, so unnecessarily we should not have any disturbance. So students, if you have any questions, please ask. Anybody?
Or you can write into chat box as well. Yes.
Hello sir, good afternoon. My name is Vaishnav Limbachia.
Please, Vaishnav, please speak little bit loudly.
Hello, now it's okay? Hello sir.
Yes, please.
Okay. Sir, my question is, if for example, we are importing some electronics products, for example, bladeless pen from China or US. If we manufacture that product here, the copyright strike comes or not?
So yeah, Vaishnav, try to understand the basics of IP, right? Each IP instrument has a different purpose. Patent, so that is for the technical improvement. Whereas copyright is for the literary and artistic work. Okay, so whatever is available in China, if you bring into India and reverse engineer and manufacture the same, okay, so there won't be any role of copyright for its manufacturing. There would be a role of either a patent or the design, right? But if you are just taking that product and reversing, not patent it, because of the patent has a criteria of novelty, non-obvious and useful. So when you will manufacture it, it is already known into China, and based on that you cannot have patent right. But yes, definitely, if you make any change into that product, either a process improvement or a product improvement, right, that particular change, that change is to be evaluated differently. Using your intellect, if you are making any change into that existing product or process, that change is to be evaluated differently. And if that change is nowhere reported anywhere, then you are capable enough to have a patent protection on the change, the part of that entire product, the change what you have developed. Copyright, yeah, definitely. Look, with respect to product available into the market, where copyright is applicable. So look at the wrapper of the Parle-G biscuit, the wrapper of the Monaco biscuit, okay, the wrapper of the Cadbury chocolate, Okay, so on that wrapper they have a different color, the specified content, right? And so that is what they have mentioned on the wrapper. So for that wrapper they have a trademark as well, and they have a copyright as well. So that wrapper, if there is a, we can say there is a pile of 10 biscuits of a different manufacturer. So even though the Parle-G is hidden on the backside, using that color, you are able to distinguish this is the Parle-G biscuit. And that is the identity of the company, and that's why they have, the Parle-G company has protected that wrapper by means of a trademark and the copyright both. And that's why no other person can copy, make the biscuits and sell with the same color combination. Okay, so this is how, if you are taking those products from China to India, there comes a role of a patent and the design, not of the copyright. But the copyright comes into the picture when it is the trade dress, the packaging of that good. Okay, hope Vaishnav, I would able to clear your doubts.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
I am Siddharth Patel.
yes, Siddharth.
Okay, sir. If just for say, if I did some research and made some invention, but before I file a patent, someone else steals my work, and if he made a patent before me, would I have to pay compensation to him and stop my work?
No, Siddharth, look, as per patent system, it says that first to file system, first to file. The person who has filed the first, he would have a right to on that patent. Okay, so the person, either you develop, say for example, you at the GEC Bharuch working on the one project since 1 year. Now there is also one student group into the LD Engineering College, Ahmedabad, who had started working on this project just before 1 month. Right now, they have started just one before, and you are working since 1 year. But you are still working. You have done the initial trial. You are satisfied that it is giving a result, but you are still working and says that I want to still conduct 2-3 more trials, and then I will go for patenting. But let's say that this LD group, they taken the first trial and they come up with the solution, and they are confident enough that yes, it is giving a good result. And if they will go and apply for the patent before yourself, those students will get the patent right and not you, because we have a first to file system. Okay, Siddharth, so hope this has answer to your concern.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any more questions? As such, sir has already given his mail ID and contact detail also. You may ask him a question by mailing him rather than calling him. It will be much better for him also to answer. As we are coming towards the conclusion of the webinar, I must thank Amit sir for giving his valuable time and sharing this valuable information to all of us. He started with various types of IPs like patent, design, trademark, geometric indications, copyright, and semiconductor and IC layout and designs. He also introduced us with the structure of IP infrastructure in India. And at the end, he enlightened us with the statistics where we stand. So we must say that the line here is very short as compared to the line of jobs, and means here the line is short and our number can come faster. And this is the way of prosperity. In fact, he has given us the way of prosperity, how we can prosper as an individual and we can make our country powerful. So it is really very much enlightening for all of us, and we can start putting our efforts in this direction. GTU has given us opportunity by introducing design engineering and project. There we can do some novel work and we can go for this IP protection. A few announcements are there. We have SSIP cell and there we have IPR. We can work for IPR protection also. Up to 25,000 financial support can also be given, and we are really open for that. Our institute can help the proposals for filing patents, and we can support up to 25,000. We are hopefully we are looking to Amit Patel sir for future programs also. As and when need arises, we will always come to you, sir, and we will have future programs with you.
Sure.
Thank you very much, sir. And on Monday, Professor Vishal Doshi has been will take one session on SSIP for SSIP policies, how it actually helps us and all. So for all the students, there will be session between 3 to 5. So all the students are invited to join that session and try to understand what benefits are there with SSIP policy. And SSIP cell GC Bharuch is always there to help you out if you are coming up with your proposals. And we have been supporting since 4 years. In fact, through our support, one patent was filed in 2018. In fact, 2 patents were filed and one is granted in 2018. They were the students of our nearby institute, SVMIT, Sadvidya Mandal Institute of Technology. Those students have approached us and we have given support to those students. And since then, we have been open to support and wholeheartedly we are supporting. So thank you very much, Amit sir, and thank you all the participants. And lastly, I will also thank our principal sir for giving us opportunity to conduct such programs, and our leader, Professor Vishal Doshi, the coordinator of SSIP, who has been always inspiring as a leader and leader of our SSIP team. So thank you all. Thank you very much. So here I am calling this session ended. And hopefully looking forward for Monday. We are waiting for you all students on Monday also. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.